Welcome everybody back to another Game Ball Podcast stream. I'm your host Mark, and we're back with the news hour for today, Sunday, January 18th. This will air on Monday. Hopefully you guys can listen to it early. It's Martin Luther King Day here in the States, so most people are off from work. Unless you live below the Mason-Dixon line, then good luck. But yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. Went a lot faster than I thought. I think it's just because I really had nothing to do and I was just doing mindless tasks and the time just got away from me. And yeah, but that allowed me to. I didn't play as much as I wanted to of games. I'll probably play more tomorrow, to be honest with you. The first off, the two weirdest things I did today was I realized that Star Wars Outlaws is on Game Pass or whatever. So I started downloading that. So I was waiting for it to download. I realized that I had the Ubisoft Wheel of Fortune and Monopoly games downloaded, and I just decided to start playing them while I was waiting for download. And yeah, so that was the time. The Wheel of Fortune one's frustrating. Not so much that Wheel of Fortune is frustrating, but there's like when you're playing with 2 AI, there's like no way to like skip fast through things. So it kind of like you get a letter wrong and then you're sitting there for a good like 2 minutes, minute and a half waiting for it to get back to you. At least if you're playing with people, you can be bullshitting with them while they make their decisions. Monopoly had sort of the same problem in terms of skipping the computer turns. But I successfully won multiple games in both of those while I was waiting. There was a new like speed game that they had for Monopoly that I don't understand how I won, but I won it. I like bought a property and then all of a sudden the game was over. So... I don't know. The thing says that you buy enough properties equal to the amount of people playing, but doesn't give me what that number is. So I don't know. I won. I got an achievement for it, though, a rare gem achievement for beating a game of Monopoly in under 15 minutes. So that was fun. Yeah. And then I played some more NCAA 26. Again, just melting time away. And won my 6th championship in 7 years. Roll Wave. We're dominating the Big 12 and college football scene. So I played a game with commentary, and I don't know. Like I don't know how to program games. They made one improvement. In that the game says your players' names now, instead of just the wide receiver and the quarterback. They program all these names into the system, and last year they didn't say it, and this year they do 75% of the time. But like it's like all the sports commentary. That I've complained about in the past, and I don't know how to fix it because I don't know how to program games. Like, I don't need it to be, like, real time, but I need it to be reactive. Like, they're saving all these stats and, years and stuff like that. Like, at least show that the game can keep track of that as well. Again, I'm not a programmer. But they keep track of who's won the national championship the last... however many years, and they only remember that you won the championship the year before. They don't go, hey, they're going for 3 in a row, or this could be the 6th in 7 years, None of that stuff that the game is tracking, but they don't pull that up. I mean, you can easily put those voice lines together, by picking apart different things they've said, like, to make it. But I like I said, I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to fix it. It just needs to feel for... But I guess they don't really care about single-player stuff anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But it's just small things. Just small things like that would make the game so much better. But yeah, so I played a lot of that. I started 1,000 Times Resist. Then I came in here to edit and get the news. So I haven't gotten too far in it. But I like it so far. It's interesting. Uh, the opening was different than I thought it would be. Because I didn't really, excuse me, I didn't really look deep into the game. I just knew there was a lot of good things said about it, and you know, I just want to try it out. So I'll probably be playing that over the next month or so. Just I know it's only like a 10, 11 hour game or something, so it shouldn't take me too long. Yeah, so yeah, and thankfully I didn't do what it sounds like Goat did. In the chat here, he said he spent the day digging out the pump house near his house so the landlord could heat tape on the water line so you don't get frozen pipes. Yeah, just matter, but yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't like you can even have them just say the word six or like just count. And I'm sure I guess budget too and time, editing all those voice lines together. But yeah, and they don't care about single player games anymore, in terms of sports. So I don't. It's just a wish list thing that's not going to happen. The only other thing that I ask for is they don't. There's like no emotion. Like you can fake emotion. I mean, actors fake emotion. Um, you know, like, you score on a big touchdown run. It's like, oh, he's got the catch and he's going to go 20-10 touchdown. Like, very flat line. Like, no excitement that there was a huge play. But, again, don't know how you fix that. Anyway, that's my rant about sports games that barely anyone cares about. But, yeah, so 1,000 Times Resist. I'm going to be playing through that. Going to check out Star Wars Outlaws. And the what's the other one I forget the other one I was looking at today. Maybe it was Pacific Drive or something because that had a big update. Maybe finally checking that game out. But yeah, so it's a bunch of games for me just to fill my time, if I want there, and try and get off playing sports games, which have no benefit, be honest, outside of shutting my brain off and listening to a podcast or music or whatever. But yeah. But on the streaming side, we started with Mega Man 5. I got through the first 4 Robot Masters. The levels seem slightly easier. I may be jinxing myself and they may get much tougher. But the levels themselves are easier. The Robot Masters, while not awful, once I learned patterns, they were easy. Like it wasn't a DPS race for any of them. I just had to learn when to slide, when to jump, and all that. So, sometimes in Mega Man's, if you watched me play through the other one, sometimes it's a DPS race where you're just spamming the attack button and hoping you hit him more than he hits you, and then that's it. Yeah, but I'm enjoying 5 so far. I mean, again, I think I kind of like it more than 4. I'll see when I get to the end of it. But so far I don't have the, complaint about 5 that I had at 4. I haven't been, like, bored of it. So, yeah, plowing through that on Mondays. We're going to do, tomorrow, at some point during the day, maybe I might do a mini stream or something, since a lot of people are off, and I'll just play through the Dragon Quest VII demo. We were supposed to do it Friday, and then Tom got sick and had to postpone Final Fantasy VI for a day, so we did that, so no hasty glance, but I'll do that tomorrow. I don't think I have anything to do tomorrow, so we'll check that out. And then Saturday, we played through, I think we're almost to the end of the chapter. It was mostly story, so you got to hear my wonderful accent on Trails in the Sky second chapter, doing my Agate voice and Olivier voice. It was fun. Story's been good. We're getting to that point where everything's ramping up, and Trails games are like that. Slow, and then it's a nice steady climb to the climax, like all stories should be. Um, yeah, the battle systems, finally, it just happened last time, where I finally got them down, and it's the end of the game. So, once we beat that, we'll be moving on to a new game there, not third chapter. We'll do that a little bit later, either in the year or next year. But we have a game lined up to replace it. So, yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's about all I've been playing. I do want to jump into a bunch of other stuff, so we might have more things to talk about next week. Like things I missed last year, and if I can find them on, any of the streaming services or anything. Like PlayStation Plus or maybe Epic gives them free or something. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have started getting back into the swing of things after the holidays as well. It's been a weird start to the year. So hopefully once things start picking up release wise, it'll be a little bit better. Let's move on to the news. First up, Elder Scrolls Lore Master says he quit Bethesda after waiting 11 years to be the lead on Elder Scrolls 6. Designer Kurt Kuhlman, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to keep calling him that. Says Bethesda reneged on a promise to make him lead designer. Now, one of the reasons I pulled this is because Jen and Tom were mentioning in the chat that a report came out that Elder Scrolls 6 is in a playable state. So we'll see what that means. But I don't think this game is coming out anytime soon. But just a refresh on the story because it's kind of interesting. Not much news here. Just really want to bring Elder Scrolls up to the forefront just because of that playable state rumor. But this was a little bit interesting for me. So Kurt Kuhlman, who left Bethesda in 2023 after more than 30 years at the company, including acting as co-lead on Skyrim, made the claim in a new interview with PC Gamer. According to Kuhlman, director Todd Howard had verbally promised, there's your thing, you got to get it in writing, man, verbally promised him the lead designer role on the Elder Scrolls 6, which was initially, here's the funny part, this is what I really wanted to read to you guys, to be honest, which was originally scheduled to start production following the completion of Fallout 4 in 2015. This is from Kuhlman. Of course, after Fallout 4, we didn't go to the Elder Scrolls 6. We made Fallout 76, and even then, we didn't make Elder Scrolls 6. We made Starfield, which became this extremely long project compared to the other ones. So from my point of view, I've been waiting 11 years to be the lead on Elder Scrolls 6. I was obviously one of the old-timers there and had a lot of experience. Bruce Naismith and I had been co-leads on Skyrim. I think most people would call it a successful project, so I thought that it wasn't unreasonable for me to think I could be a successful lead on Elder Scrolls 6. It wasn't just my expectation. I'd been told that was going to happen, and he continued, and they made the decision, no, you're not going to be the lead. Yeah. And then Kuhlman remembers the conversation being tough, and that Bethesda leadership had hoped he'd be content with a different position. And Todd had told him, well, we want you to have an important role in the project, but what I wanted and what he wanted were different at that point. So, just basically this story I pulled for multiple reasons. That one report, and then just letting you know how long it's actually been since Elder Scrolls 6 was announced. I believe they announced it pre-pandemic, if I am not mistaken. So, yeah. Yeah, so, it's just, yeah, this story, yeah, always great, yeah. It's just kind of amazing, this story here. But, yeah, it's just kind of weird. This came across the desk at the same time they were talking about the playable state. And I agree 100% with you, Night Duck. I wouldn't trust Todd Howard. Um, and as Metal Militia said, I totally forgot about Starfield, as a lot of people did. That game was the most 7 out of 10 game I've ever played. And yeah, I think I said that last year or 2 years. I don't even remember when it came out. Yeah, so hopefully Elder Scrolls 6 is coming soon. Next up is a follow-up from a story that I mentioned last week. A week after talking up the Division 3, boss Julian Girardi has left Ubisoft for EA. In a statement on social media, Ubisoft confirmed that the Division series and Star Wars Outlaws lead had joined Battlefield Studios. We will miss him, his mark will live on at Massive, and we will continue to bring the world he's been a part of creating to our players for years to come. For our players, don't worry, agents. Our team who has built this world with Julian are still here, carrying it forward and with an ambitious, unchanged commitment for the future with the Division 2. The Division 2 Survivors, the Division 3 Resurgence, and the Division 3. In a further statement, Ubisoft said Division veterans Yannick Banchero and Matthias Carlson would continue as creative directors for the Division 2 and the Division 3, while Massive veteran Magnus Janssen has rejoined lead extraction mode. Has rejoined to lead extraction mode the Division 2 Survivors. Girardi said in his own statement, "Agents, quick update from the base of operations. It's time for me to hang up my go bag as I go on another grand adventure. The Division future burns bright, and I can't wait for you to discover what the teams have been working on. Long live the Division and Godspeed." Yeah, so I partially pulled this story as well because so because of a story that I had missed, I think, over the holidays, but had to mention around the holidays, we had the untimely passing of Vince Zampella, who was the head of Battlefield franchise over at EA. So Girardi's appointment is basically replacing Zampella or in some role for somebody replacing Zampella. But yeah, it was a not an unexpected thing that probably had a domino effect to this event happening. It was kind of a crazy death in the community, but in the Battlefield community. So it opened up a job that probably pays more than he has at UB. But hopefully, we don't. I want to see what Division 3 is, or where it's located and what they're doing. I don't know if it'll be a good game, but I'm just curious about what they're doing. So hopefully it's far enough along that Julian was not needed for the game. Next up, Valve has significantly rewritten Steam's rules for how developers must disclose AI. As spotted by Game Discoverer Co.'s Simon Careless, Valve has made it clear that AI-powered tools such as code helpers do not require a disclosure, and that efficiency gains through the use of AI-powered dev tools is not the focus of its efforts. The first of the two types of AI use that developers will have to disclose is AI to generate content for the game, whether this is within the game or its store page or its marketing materials. The second is AI-generated content during gameplay, and whether the game in question generates AI-created images, audio, text, and other content. Since 2024, Valve has required developers to disclose on Steam whether generative AI was used in the creation of games. Then this appears on the game store page in a section called AI-generated content disclosure. In July 2025, an analysis found that nearly 8,000 titles released on Steam in the first 6 months of 2025 had disclosed the use of generative AI, compared to around 1,000 during the entirety of 2024. However, although Steam requires games that use generative AI in their development to disclose the use, such disclosures are voluntary. So the actual number of games created using Gen AI is likely higher than the 8,000 figure. Yep. So just another AI story here. I kind of get what they're doing here, but like I said, yeah, yeah. Like I understand. Yeah, this was just a follow up to what we were talking about last week. Not so much a negative follow up. I understand what they're doing here, specifically. It's just that one sentence that was in there, where a lot of it's voluntary. So there could be games that are using it that are just not disclosing it. But that 8,000 number is insane for 6 months of games. Yeah, just showing you got to be on the lookout. You can usually spot some of the really bad offenders of AI stuff, but I think as companies find out, or think that it'll be cheaper to do it, you're going to see more and more of it until, things, I forget, I don't know if you guys know, but this is bad to bring up on a podcast, but there was some company that was using AI for customer service and then found that they spent more money having the human people fix the AI errors in customer service than they did actually hiring customer service people. So yeah, just a lot of things going on around this. But for Steam has been pretty good about this, and this makes a lot of sense. Moving on. This is for me. Pulled this for myself. The first full images of LEGO's Ocarina of Time final battle set with Link versus Ganondorf have been leaked. Nintendo teased a new LEGO set based on The Legend of Zelda back in October, showing a LEGO version of Link looking up as a large shadow looms over him. A LEGO version of Zelda is also standing in the background, out of focus. Link is accompanied by Navi, all but confirming the set to be from Ocarina of Time. While the teaser didn't explicitly state what the set was at the time, it lent more weight to the previous claim by LEGO leaker BrickTap, which mentioned a new LEGO's set in September. Now BrickTap has returned with first images of the set showing it in full. So if you see here, that is pretty sweet. Probably, yeah, I was going to say it probably costs like $150 for that little bit. But yeah, pretty cool story. There's a bunch of other ones. I think they had the Deco Tree or something like that with it as well. So, yeah, if you were looking curious in this, as I was, it's good to finally see what the actual box will look like. I probably won't spend $130 on LEGO stuff, but I like that they're doing it justice. It's a pretty good looking set. All right, next up, this is for Tom. Forza Horizon 6 release date may have been revealed early by an in-game ad. Xbox Infinite and Xbox News Source on on Twitter, based in Saudi Arabia, posted an image of an announcement that they claim appeared inside the game. If legitimate, the announcement says the premium edition of the game will give players early access, allowing them to play 4 days early starting May 15th, implying a general release of May 19th. Sources have told Video Games Chronicle this is the correct release window. The ad also says players who pre-owned the game will get a pre-tuned and exclusive Ferrari J50 and Forza Horizon 6. According to the message, the premium edition of the game will include early access, VIP membership, welcome pack, car pass, time attack car pack, Italian Passion car pack, coming post-launch, and 2 premium expansions. Xbox, remember, is hosting a developer direct presentation on January 22nd, where developers Playground Games will give a new look at Forza Horizon 6 and its other major release, Fable. So, no surprise that this, leaked. It's funny that it leaked in an in-game thing, if it is true. But yeah, you'll find out for sure. It'll probably be confirmed on Um, the 22nd would be Thursday. Um, so another reason to tune into that conference to see exactly what Forza Horizon will be. It looks pretty cool from everything I've seen so far. You know, Horizon's probably of the games. I would probably be more likely to play more of Horizon than Motorsport, um, because it's closer to my favorite racing game of the last 20 years, non-kart related, which is what's it called? The I'm I'm completely blanking on it. It's the EA one. Um, Burnout Paradise. There we go. I knew it would come to me eventually. Somebody will probably mention it in the chat because of the delay. Thank you, Metal Militia. You would have gotten that for me if there wasn't a delay in the stream. Um, yeah, so yeah, Horizon's closer to Burnout Paradise, which is why I enjoy it. Probably more than Motorsport. But yeah, so look out for that on Thursday. Next up, Capcom's next big Resident Evil remake will reportedly be revealed this year. That's according to reliable sleuth Dusk Golem, who claimed on social media this week that later this year, Capcom will unveil a remake of the Dreamcast game Resident Evil Code Veronica. Dusk Golem, who has a history of reporting on the Resident Evil series, previously claimed that remakes of Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Code Veronica were in development. Something VGC also understands to be the case. So I am kind of excited about this. I'm low-key a huge Code Veronica fan. I played that game multiple times on Dreamcast. One time, not of my fault, I didn't pick up a weapon I needed to pick up, and then I couldn't beat the mini-boss when you're trying to escape the island. I ran out of ammo. But it had the little memory card thing in there, the VMU, that had your health on it, and I just adored that thing. I adored my Dreamcast. But yeah, so I'm glad that they're going with Code Veronica instead of 0. I like 0, but I think Code Veronica is the next one to put out. The entire series. I don't know if after you get to 0, I don't know if you need to remake. Well, 5's problematic as it is. I don't even think you need to touch 5 and 6 at all. Just ignore them, because they do not deserve remakes. 5's message and story are really do not hold up, and 6 is just awful. But yeah, I'm glad Code Veronica before 0 is coming out. I am probably definitely going to play this when it does come out. Alright, next up, another one for me. Square Enix sets Life is Strange reveal weeks after ratings board leaked new game. Separate the rumors from the real from the rumors. Join us for an exclusive reveal of the next Life is Strange game. The publisher wrote alongside a YouTube link. The reveal will take place on Tuesday, January 20th, so we don't have to wait long. The reveal plans follow a ratings board leak for the new Life is Strange title, which will seemingly be subtitled Reunion and see a return for protagonist Chloe Price. Chloe Price was Max Caulfield's partner in time. Losing her is Max's greatest regret. Now Chloe has come to Calderon University. I think I had a little bit of the rant. This is just more for confirmation that they're actually going to be doing this. I guess there's probably a majority of the fan base that is really excited about Chloe coming back. I think her story was perfectly fine just being encapsulated in the first game. Just because, that game's lesson was, um, essentially, I felt that you're selfish if you chose Chloe over the town, because there are people in that town that don't deserve to die just because you want to hang out with your friend longer. But that's an argument I could have had years ago, when the game first came out. But yeah, I'm looking. I'll watch the trailers, and we'll see where it goes from there. I didn't finish Double Exposure, so maybe I gotta go back and do that. But yeah. Next up, Sega announces Sonic 35th anniversary plans to celebrate Sonic's legacy. Although a new anniversary trailer designed to build hype and rewind through Sonic's best moments, Sega has promised a high-energy slate of anniversary programs designed to celebrate Sonic's legacy while bringing fans together around the world. That includes digital content highlighting Sonic's evolution across the decades, fan meetups, brand and retail partnerships featuring limited merchandise, museum pop-ups and art exhibits, live concert celebrations, and a brand new narrative podcast. Additionally, 35th anniversary inspired content, partnerships, collectibles, and fan experiences will be revealed throughout the year. There's no mention of a new Sonic the Hedgehog video game, but it is rare for Sega's mascot to skip an annual release. The last big mainline Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers, however, was released nearly 4 years ago in 2022. We're incredibly proud to celebrate 35 years of our beloved Sonic franchise with our fans, said Marcella Churchill, VP of Sega's branding marketing. The milestone is not just a reflection of our past, but also a look towards the future. As we continue to innovate and grow, we want to bring our community together and create memorable experience for all of our fans throughout 2026. The original Sonic the Hedgehog was released for Sega Genesis in North America. Deep sigh. June 23rd, 1991. Which I had about 6 months later. I hate when video games make me feel old. Anyway, for those of you that love Sonic, congratulations on your anniversary. Yeah. So thank you, Night Duck. Thank you for that. Yeah. Still, the funny part is Sonic is Sonic is one of two games that my sister is actually really good at. I don't know if she's still really good at it. It's been at least 10 years since I had her test it, but she's really good at Sonic and really good at Mario 3 for reasons I don't know. Just shit at other games. I think it was because Mario 3 was one of the rare games we had, so me and her played that all the time. And then when I got Sonic, she stole my Sega until she got too old to play video games. So, yeah. But 35 years, that's ridiculous. But yeah, another anniversary this year. Speaking of anniversaries, Persona's 30th anniversary site, which isn't as bad for me because I didn't join until like 4. Site quietly mentions the next chapter for the series. Sega and Atlus's Persona 30th anniversary website quietly mentions the next chapter in the series, fans have discovered. Persona celebrates 30 years in 2026, with Sega promising to mark the occasion with special events, anniversary merchandise, and more. So far, Atlus has announced Persona 4 Revival for release sometime after April 2026. But it's the unannounced Persona 6 that have fans most anticipating, considering Persona 5 is now nearly a decade old. Potentially increasing the likelihood of news on that front is the Google snippet for the official Persona 3 anniversary site. Spotted by social media users, the snippet reads, 2026 marks the 30th anniversary of Persona. Come celebrate the journey as we usher in the next chapter for the series. So I'm assuming Persona 6 will be announced this year. If not soon, it'll be definitely at Summer Games Fest. Because, as I said, it only makes too much sense. It's been a decade since 5, almost. But again, makes me feel old. But, Um, yeah. As this last sentence says, Persona 6 has been reportedly in development for some time, with insiders previously claiming that it won't be a PlayStation console exclusive and that it will likely be timed around the 30th anniversary. So, um, yeah. Yeah, more anniversary stuff. Hopefully, the new game comes out. I'll play Revival as well, but yeah. Next up, and this one's just a real quick thing. Um, Amazon unveils first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider series. Um, the Game of Thrones actor is the latest to take the role of Lara in live action, following two films starring Angelina Jolie and another with Alicia Vikander taking on the role. Phoebe Waller-Bridges, the British actor, screenwriter, and producer who won an Emmy, Golden Globe, and BAFTA awards for her work on Fleabag, is serving as writer and executive producer in the new Tomb Raider series. In addition to Turner, the cast includes Sigourney Weaver, Jason Isaacs, Martin Bob Semple, Jack Bannon, John Heffernan, and more. They also announced 2 new games, and there is Sophie Turner. I gotta scroll a little bit more for you guys. There, that should be better. I think it has the look. Like, with Sophie Turner being a little bit on the taller side, it does allow a lot of the athletic, physical stuff that Lara does to seem a little more believable than somebody like Alicia Vikander, who I think is a little bit shorter than Sophie. Obviously, the only thing that a lot of the Gooners will be upset about is she's obviously not as well or disproportioned in the chest area, but there's no woman on earth that is built like 90s Lara Croft and able to do the things 90s Lara Croft did while built like that. I think Sophie Turner looks amazing right here as Lara. I think if you're going for the old 90s era Lara, she looks perfect for it. I want to see it in action. I want to see mannerisms and action and stuff like that. But just the look from this photo, they pretty much have it down. Now, Alicia Vikander fit much more of the reboot from 2013, I want to say, was the Tomb Raider reboot. I think it came out the same year as God of War. But, yeah, that look fit perfectly for that. It's, it wasn't that much of a stretch because the woman who did the mocap is also a British actress that has basically the same body shape as Alicia Vikander. So it wasn't too much of a stretch to do that. But if they're going for Lara's 90s look, I think a taller woman, a little more athletic build, definitely fits the mold. But after seeing this photo, I'm excited to see what this series actually looks like. And I'm a big fan of Phoebe Waller-Bridges, so yeah, it shouldn't be lacking from the creative side. All right, and finally, I think I mentioned some of these last week, but the games that are going to be released on PlayStation Plus Extra, which is the level right above Basic. So those games are Resident Evil Village, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, which is actually got a pretty unique mechanic that I like, The Exit 8, and Art of Rally. Apparently Ridge Racer might be going to classics, but yeah, so if you were looking at any of those and you're in the PlayStation Plus Extra section, yeah, you can go ahead and get those all for free. So yeah, that'll do it. As I start to lose my voice here, this is the most I've had to talk consecutively for this podcast in a while. Yeah, thank you guys all for joining us. Housekeeping here. We'll be back tonight with Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which is our Retro Roulette Game Club game for Podcast Prime. You have the whole month to play it. So check it out. Watch us play it. Check it out on your own. And then we can have a discussion about it. Probably sometime in the afternoon today, I will do the Dragon Quest demo. I'm thinking of starting it at noon, barring if I have anything or if something work-related pops up, because it's technically a Monday, even though we're off. And I'll play through that demo on here. And then on Thursday, we're going to start. We're going to do like 10 minutes of grinding, and then we're going to start the final dungeon for what's it called? Final Fantasy VI. So hopefully we'll be done that in the next couple weeks at most. And then Friday, I'll have another hasty glance. It might be like a hasty glance rewind. I might do one of the games that I just picked up from last year to just have on the site. And then Saturday will be some more Trails in the Sky. And then Sunday we're back for the News Hour. And then Mega Man 5 on the Monday after that. So thank you all for joining me. It has been fun as always. And stay warm if you're anywhere near Goat and that part of the country. And if you're not, have a good day off if you do have the day off today. And we'll see you next time. Bye.